had the job, and I accepted a job in a company where I was told, you know what, Mr. Biver, you did your university, I did the degree. You know, in those days we believed the degree was important. And they were probably. Today everybody makes a degree. Except the French, they make bac 1, bac 2, bac 3, because they cannot finish the studies at the university. So they say, I did 1 year after the examination, or the 2 or 3 or 4, but they never finish. But the French are still okay. For the wine, for women, for champagne, for perfume. For taxes, they are terrible. For politics, they are horrible. But it's okay. So this guy from that company told me, you're going to work 1 year, Mr. Biver, and I give you half a salary. I said, what? Half a salary, 50%. I said, why? I'm going to tell you. Because you will not work during 1 year. You will not work, you will learn. And because you learn, somebody must teach you. And my company is going to teach you. So you pay me half of your salary to teach you. These were the good bosses. That's the right way to think. That's what you have to tell to the young people. You come to me, during 1 year I give you half salary because the other half you pay me because I teach you. Which is true, by the way. That's how it is. But the young people, they don't want half salary. They want full salary. Okay, then I don't employ you. Stay outside, go to another company. Young people must be ready to accept half salary. And they are not ready. At least not in the few countries I know. So this guy told me, half salary and no office, no secretary, no visit card, no phone, no traveling, no nothing. I said, what will I get? You're going to learn. And to learn, you don't need an office. And to learn, you don't need a secretary. And to learn, you don't need a phone. And to learn, you don't need a credit card. And to learn, you don't need a name card. So I started to learn. And during 1 year, I was there learning. And how do you learn when you go in the company? They put you in an office with the director of the design. And then you are there, and then you sit. And the guy designs watches. And he says, okay, hello, sit there. And then you look. And the guy designs. And after 2 hours, you say, what am I doing here? I cannot look this guy designing all the time. So you start to ask questions. And then the guy says, sorry, I have no time. I must design my watches. Then you tell him, do you want the coffee? And he says, yes. And then you go and make coffee. So you start becoming very, very humble. And you don't want to lose too much time, so you try to take from him, to take knowledge from him. And then you tell him, yeah, for lunch, can we have lunch together? They say, no, not now. I have my wife. Yeah, but maybe one day. He said, okay, let's see. And then you have one day lunch with him. And then the guy starts to become more open. And one day you say, can I invite you with your wife to my home? And so on. So I have been 1 year in the company, sitting with everybody, with the director of production, with the director of the after-sales service, with the director of the quality control, with the director of the design, with the director of IT, with everybody, with the finance, with everybody. And because of this, I learned the basics of the history of the company, but also at the same time, the history of the watchmaking art. And after 1 year, I knew much, much, much more about the history of making watches, about how to make watches, about the mentality of the watchmakers, about the history of the Swiss watchmaking industry, than anybody else, because I had been 1 year just listening to people. And then, when I started to sell, I said to myself, I cannot sell watches. How can I go and to visit a jeweler in München or in Hamburg and sell him watches? No way. I will travel with no watches. So I went visiting people, and people said, yeah, Mr. Biver, you are coming. Yeah, we had your fax that you were coming, but where is your collection? I said, I have no collection. But are you not here to sell me watches? Yes, I'm going to sell you watches. But where are the watches? I said, I don't bring the watches. Let's talk. Let's see what is your stock. Let's see what you have sold. Let's see what you need. Let's see what the salespeople are telling. And then we might have some answers. But do you want me to bring watches like sardines and you choose? No. We are making art. We are making soul. We build soul. I say, well, soul, what is soul? But our watches are made with by hands. And hands of man are transmitting love to the watch. And the watch is a piece of love. It's not an industrial process. It's not something that becomes obsolete. It's a piece of art. And as every piece of art, it has the heart and the love of man inside. And then the jeweler said, wow, nobody talked like this to me. And he said, but that's a pity. That's the only way to talk about high-quality Swiss watches. And it was the start. And what did I learn in this start? And that helped me for the end, and it will still help me for the end of my life. I understood that only a dead fish in the Rhone, which is our Swiss river, which we give to the French from Geneva on, and then it becomes dirty. So dirty that in Marseille it is nearly totally polluted, but it leaves Geneva clean like a glacier water. And when we go to the Rhone and we look at the Rhone, we see that dead fish swims in the direction of the stream and in the same speed as the stream. And how about a fish that is alive? Swims against the stream, or left or right to the stream, or if it goes in the sense of the stream, much faster. Only that fish swims in the direction of the stream and in the speed of the stream, which means never do what other people do, because you will be that fish. Be alive, be different, be unique.